Good evening, good evening. This is Frances Hammond, your host of The Unexpected Detour, coming to you on this October 15th of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Yes, it's all about breast cancer this month. Well, tonight I was on a panel, and the panel was about getting a mammogram. I had so much information that I just want to share it with you. So, there especially one thing that always would bother me, and it was this thing called a dense breast. Now, I don't know if you've ever had a mammogram and you get this reading back that says you have a dense breast. Well, newsflash, if your breasts are dense, get a little further with the checking, because it could possibly be something. Because I know that the 2D mammogram, the regular mammogram, will not show the fullness of the breast, especially if they're dense. So that's why they do the 3D mammogram. 3D mammogram will show it in its entirety. It takes 9 pictures each, and you're good to go. So you take that. Now, other things that can cause breast cancer. How about this one? Liver disease. Isn't that something? Liver disease. Exposure to estrogen. Alcohol use. Obesity. Radiation to the chest or the torso. Breastfeeding is protective for women, but not bearing children, those are another factors. How about that? Isn't that crazy? For the women that don't have children, how that can affect breast cancer, not having children. And even though it's your choice, but not having them, it can also lead to a probability of getting breast cancer. We won't say it will lead to breast cancer because we don't know. But these are the notes that I took from there, and that BRCA gene, positive. And that is how the men get the breast cancer. They get it from their mother who has the positive BRCA gene. So if you have any females in your family and they have that BRCA gene, I suggest you go get tested because it will save your life. I mean, the conversation was very, very good. It was a panel of doctors and some survivors. One for 15 years, one for 17 years, one for 13 years. And I was encouraged. And they all had one thing in common. They all shared that their belief in God, and the next thing is your mindset. I always say that. You have to have this positive mindset to get you through this breast cancer. That's how it's done. It's breast cancer. I mean, it will get you through breast cancer. Then, I know on one of my posts on Facebook, I put up there that you should check yourself. You really, really should. So many women do not know how to do a self-examination. Well, I'm going to tell you, if you don't know, when you go to your GYN, please ask them to show you how you do it. I mean, you could do it in the shower, which I know the shower is good because you can really feel the lumps better, which I must confess, I did feel them in my underarm but thought nothing of it. But that's for another time, and I believe I spoke about that already, so that's neither here nor there. But there are more signs. It's swelling and redness in the breasts. The breast size changes. It's itchy and scaling. It might be weeping out some pussy stuff that's green. One lady said hers was green and it stunk. These are the things that we overlook. We don't think anything of them because in the mind it's like, I wish it would just go away. Whatever this is, whatever it is, it's gonna go away. So I said I would take some notes and let you all know. Now, when you go to get a mammogram, the American College of Gynecology, it says you get it at age 40, and then you get it every other year until you're 45. After 45, you get it annually. American Cancer Society tells you to get an annual screening at age 45. So there are different things, different organizations that will tell you, what they think about getting a mammogram. Me, I did it from the age of 40 every year, and just as I was going that year, hear me now, they changed it. Because I'll never forget, that's what the doctor asked me. What made you come this year, age 60, and get a mammogram? And I just knew that was something I had always done, so why should I change anything? I've been doing it since the age of 40. That year they had changed it to every year. So for me to inform you, you have to be up to date with what's going on in the medical profession, especially when it comes to your body, especially because nobody told me that. I just happened to go. And luckily, I did go. Not even when I went to get the mammogram, nobody questioned. They didn't say, well, you just came last year. What are you doing back here again? You were good last year. Had I not gone that year, I often think that mask would have gotten bigger had I not gone. And then I often think that had I known what dense breasts meant, I had a suspicion, but I never thought to think anything of it, because I would ask, people in the medical profession, they'd be like, oh, that's nothing, you just have dense breasts. The person I should have asked was the doctor. But no, I asked other people. They were the nurses that I know, and they were like, oh, that's something that women just have. No. Pay attention to those signs, please. That's why I said I often wonder, had I paid attention and went and just questioned the doctor a bit more and not just take it with a grain of salt that everything was okay, I would have probably found what I found earlier. And then I don't know. Maybe God didn't want me to find it earlier. Maybe it was in His time and I was supposed to find it because I was fine. I never had any problems. I didn't have the lump under my arm that I felt that year. In 2017, I felt this lump under my arm, and, it was stationary, and it was not even, and it was big. But I didn't think anything of it, It wasn't no big deal. So I am not going to be long, but I just wanted to come along and tell you, whatever you do, go take care of your body. Your body is not going to lie to you. Don't take it with a grain of salt that you're going to be okay, because you don't know. And if you don't go check, and when you do decide to check, what are you going to do if you shoulda, woulda, coulda, and because you didn't, you find out that you have breast cancer? But in the back of your mind, you knew you should have gone, but you neglected all of that. You neglected your breasts. Men get it too. And like I said, men get the gene from their mom. So they need to be checked to see if anybody in their family has the BRCA gene. It's good to know your family history, which side of the family might have had breast cancer. All of those are contributing factors to this breast cancer. It really is, and it's really important to know your history, your medical history as far as your family is concerned. These are all the little tips that I got from tonight of being on the panel, and I was very, very, very informed. more informed than I thought I was. I got more information. Knowledge is always power. The more you know, the better. At least in my case. The more I know, for me, being a breast cancer survivor, the more I can share with somebody else who may be going through that. What I got from this panel tonight is more knowledge about exactly what I wanted to know about that dense breast. I got the over and over again, this obesity thing that I ignored because I didn't think anything of my weight. I had stopped drinking years ago, so even though that was the issue, these were all contributing factors for me. And I really believe that. All these things were there. The signs were there. The warnings were there, especially the lose weight warning. And I kept hearing it, how it's too overweight for my body type. I'm a thin person. This is all I kept hearing. So I hope this information has been helpful to you. And I'm going to say it until I can turn blue, red, pink. If you don't know how to examine your breast, do so. If you are neglecting a mammogram because of a little squeeze to the breast, yes, it hurts, but it's better to get it squeezed and checked than to find out later you didn't want to get squished, but you end up with breast cancer. I will be back at the end of the month of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Hopefully I will have a guest that day. We'll hope. And if not, we'll end it off with me just talking about what else I have learned from the 15th of October to October 30th. Have a good night and enjoy.